Amateur Hour, episode 14. Gentlemen, we made it to March Madness. How you feeling?
Oh shit, is that today?
It actually started yesterday with the first four, so you're a little late, bud.
Oh,
You're okay, Trent. March Madness doesn't start till tomorrow, so you're good.
all right.
As we all were looking forward to, yeah. Those first four games so far, the first two were actually pretty damn good. The Pitt Mississippi State game, as an expert Iowa State, I was breaking down film for them. That was a pretty fun game to watch. I think Iowa State's going to kill Pitt, but it was a fun game to watch overall. But
Wide open three and put back to win it.
Yeah.
Didn't go in either shot.
Yeah. Mississippi State apparently is one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the SEC, and that's the play they came up with. So, you know what it reminded me of? Iowa State football special teams. But we're not going to go down that path because we have positivity going because of March Madness starting here. So, you know me, I'm a big fucking nerd. So we're going to start with some trivia here, guys. And I'm going to start out of order because I think it should get progressively a little harder here. But first one, yeah, it should get progressively harder. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
How many teams made the big dance and a bowl game this year? Just men's, not women's. Sorry.
23.
23. Okay.
I was gonna say 20.
What do we have now? Like 600 bowl games. So
close.
I'm gonna shoot over. I really wanted to shoot over half, but I'm gonna say 15.
15. Whoever said 23, you were the closest here. It was actually 28 teams, and I'm going to put them on the screen here. Iowa, Kansas, Diet Kansas. I don't see Iowa State on here for some reason, but
no, they must have missed them.
Yeah, must have forgot to put the logo on there. But yeah, 28 different teams made both a bowl game and March Madness here. I'm trying to think who's the most shocking on this list. Utah State is probably one that shocks me the most right now.
Yeah.
The Raging Cajuns down there. I mean, they usually make a football. They usually make a bowl game, but I didn't know they'd make the tournament. I mean, they'd have to pretty much win their conference because they're in a small conference.
Made the
UConn's kind of a shocker making a bowl game.
Kansas making a bowl game in how many years puts them on that list?
Okay, yeah, Clark wins. That is the most shocking.
Yeah. since Nam. No, that's probably about how damn long here. So, all right. So you got a glimpse of some of the teams here. Second question. Of the 68 teams in the Big Dance, how many of them are private schools? So the I'm going to give you a hint. It's less than 68.
I was going to say 10.
10? Okay.
I'll go 12 because I was going to guess 10 as well.
Okay.
$1, Bob.
Though. $1. I'm going to go 15.
You're closest, Ginjoy. It's 21 different schools that are private schools.
Dang.
So you can see all about me. Joy, you mentioned a couple of them with Duke and Miami and stuff, but the Iowa Drake Bulldogs representing their private school. You can see the awesome land grant schools on the top top right there. Top left, they're just public who gives a shit schools, but I always say that because the guys are in there. So
love you, Bryant.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll see how you feel about me at the end of this one here. And then the last one is we're getting tired of questions. I just thought this was entertaining because there's, shocking. There's some multiple teams of just generic mascots here. What mascot is the most common in the tournament? Bulldogs, Tigers, or Wildcats?
Ooh, Bulldogs. Okay. I mean, you should whichever one just to say Tigers, the other one gets Wildcats here.
I'm taking Tigers.
Okay, Joey, your Wildcats.
Okay.
It's Tigers. Well, I'm sorry, we're not going to all just wait around and let me analyze as Bulldogs. And
you don't tell me how to pick things.
This is my goddamn pun. 5 Tiger mascots, 4 Bulldogs, 4 Wildcats. They're all very close, but 13 of the 63 teams are just those 3 animals. That's what I've been saying. Like Bulldogs, it gets old. Why one of them needs to change like the Chihuahuas or something? Just change it up a little bit.
Yeah. You know what there is only one of? The Gauchos.
Ooh.
You know what? There's two of the Golden Flashes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going through the list, and there's a lot of obscure like 2-1s, and the Gauchos is the only one. I think the Hawkeye, the Iowa's the only Hawkeyes. There's multiple Red Hawks in the tournament as well, but only one Golden Hurricanes.
I've got a question for you, Bryant.
Oh God, let's hear it.
What current day mammal does not get enough love as a mascot? I think it's only represented once in the United States.
Mammal?
Yeah.
The antelopes, Grand Canyon.
Gorillas.
Oh,
Pitt State.
Pitt State Gorillas.
Pitt State? Yeah,
nice.
I've seen that a couple times. I'm like, is this like when you see Pittsburgh State's? Is it Pitt State or Pittsburgh State?
Technically, Pittsburgh State goes by.
When
Pitt
you
State.
see Pittsburgh
State.
State's mascot, you're like, is this a generic FCS? They made up this logo for the NCAA football games. That's how generic it looks.
It's the
Oh.
split red, yellow. gorilla.
Pittsburgh, Kansas. They actually put some players in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yep.
The last
Crazy.
roofing inspection I ever did was at a Wells Fargo in Pittsburgh. And yeah, they got a big old sign saying how many people they have in the NFL.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to share my screen so everyone in our audience can see this beautiful just gorilla here.
Oh
Just
yeah.
have-
Beautiful.
look at it. Like I said, I mean that looks as generic as it's not generic, but it's like that looks like someone made it up for the NCAA football games.
Hell yes.
It's like something you get to pick when you create a university.
Yeah, the generic pirates or some shit.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, that's mascot talk, and we're gonna have probably plenty more of it coming up for it because once
I
our
think-
teams get eliminated, then we got to talk about something else.
I may have thrown this trivia question out here, but do you know who the oldest mascot is? Like what school?
The Yale Bulldog.
Jesus.
What's his name?
Yeah.
I
Jesus.
can't remember that.
Old Yaler.
Yeah. What? Sally fell in the well again? Ah!
What's that? Harvard still sucks. Oh, got him. Yeah, our dog.
no,
even knows.
His name is Handsome Dan.
Okay, that's a pretty fucking cool
Damn.
name.
I think that's pretty dope, man. Yeah.
Why do not people have more descriptions of their dog in their name? Like you could have like Crazy Turbo or Tiny Turbo, and then people go that describes both of them. He's a fast run around small dog. Handsome Dan.
Neither of those actually describe him. Like Lazy Turbo would be more fitting.
God, I'm actually entranced. Handsome Dan. That's a fucking amazing name.
Rotund Turbo.
Rotund.
A little better.
Oh shit. Well, we'll actually get into now that we're done talking about animals. We're probably not, but we'll kind of jump into March Madness here for the men's side. Kansas, no shocker, 1 seed. I think they kind of got screwed with their positioning. I think they should have been above Houston, and the committee was even talking about it. But no offense, if you're national champions and you have that talent, I think Kansas is going to be just fine. You know, with which 1 seed they go. I think you got it. The more I think about it, actually in depth, you have the talent to get through it, but you do have the hardest 1 seed bracket.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough haul, especially if you get down the road and have to face Texas again. It's the hurdle they haven't made yet, so we'll see.
Now, I would say that kind of has been your one issue is you've been a raw team so far this year in Texas. I hate it. They're somehow putting it together. So I don't know, but Kansas State they were a 3 seed. I thought that was fair enough. I didn't think they needed to drop anymore, even if they, didn't get close to the finals. But Iowa State slipped to a 6 seed, which I know early on a lot of people were upset on that. I was kind of okay with it. I understand that we dropped because of our late season probably escapades and how terrible we played. But I looked at all the 5 seeds. I'm perfectly fine with being at the 6th seed right now.
Yeah, you run the risk of being that 5-12 upset that happens all the time.
Yeah.
6 seed's okay with me too. Just the way the end of the season played out, it could have been worse. It could have been like, I hate the 8-9 matchup. Glad we didn't fall to an 8. So
yeah,
I'm okay with 6.
Speaking of 8, well, Joey stepped away, but Iowa is an 8 seed, and I thought they ended up with I get why they had to end up with that draw because they couldn't play Illinois at a 9 seed, but man, playing Auburn, not only just playing Auburn, which Iowa can play with anyone. If they win, they can play with Houston. It's just they're playing in Birmingham in their backyard. I thought that was kind of BS.
Yep. Yeah, and I always forget Bruce Pearl. Is Auburn's coach, but there he
is. He's been all over the place. That's kind of where the misfit toys end up in the SEC. Just didn't he go to like Wisconsin, Milwaukee for a couple years, and he ended up at Auburn. Chris Beard's going there.
Yep.
I have noticed a trend online where if they know it's a bad hire, they don't open it up to the public to like come in and commentate on the hire. They just put a picture of him and his family up there. So because they think that's going to stop people on Twitter who are anonymous not talking shit about their program. So, I mean, I don't know. If you look at that post on Twitter, literally every single comment is either a picture of a wife beater saying he's a wife beater, or it's literally just a picture of the police report, which like that's like a little going over the line. But yeah, it's like understand that people are upset that there's no punishment. He got to leave the toxic environment of Texas, and now he gets to go to the SEC and make just as much money.
Yeah.
Less than 2-3 months later.
Yeah.
I mean, hell of a PR team. They just kept him out of the spotlight, and he just was able to keep doing his thing.
Yep.
So, but I think we all saw it. North Carolina ended up not getting into the tournament this year. They were invited into the NIT, and they declined the bid here. I'm going to pull up their little post from old Hubert, our favorite coach from last year. And, they're saying they strive for, they strive for competition, blah, blah, blah. A lot of fancy words saying that they think that they're better than the NIT here. And you know what? They have played championship caliber basketball for years. I think, let me pull up the notes. This is the first tournament they've missed since 2010, and only the third time they missed it in 47 years. So, what do you? I guess, Clark, I want to start with you because your team actually has prominent success in basketball. How do you feel about this move with them declining their invite?
Crybaby pee pants. Oh, we didn't make it. We're done playing. We're going to take our ball and go home.
They're a Jordan brand basketball that they're going to take and go home, though.
Do you love the game or not? You've got a chance to go play more games. Go play freaking games. Like what's wrong with giving some guys who maybe haven't had minutes some real action, or get your guys who have been out there playing hard all year the opportunity to go play some more ball? Like that's what they do. That's what they love. Why not go play?
Exactly. This is the number one reason that I am A-okay with fucking kids transferring. Like schools make decisions like this bullshit and not letting their players play in the postseason. I mean, they didn't have a losing season. Let them play in the fucking NIT. Come on, guys. There's some people that have been there 4 years, 5 years, and probably with COVID years, 6-7 years. Let them fucking play. It's so stupid.
So what happens? You're number one, and you get just dominated by Caleb Grill early in the season, and you just missed the postseason altogether.
It's amazing how far you can fall when you lose Brady Manick.
Mm-hmm. Who would have thought that was the glue that kept them together, man?
Baycott's back. Love is back. Manick's gone. And we went from the number one seed coming into the season, played in the championship last year, to not even making the tournament.
Yep. Right.
They still had Hubert, so I don't know why they didn't make it.
Yep.
Brady Manick. That's why.
Little sneak peek. One of my 3 players that we're going to list later is a Tar Heel.
Okay.
Ooh.
A little sneak peek. Yeah, we're gonna break down our, when we get to March Madness, who are our top 3 players that we always think about, whether you love them or hate them. Who pops up, because this is like one of those few times like you can become a hero, a folk hero in your own college if you have a good 2-3 week span right at the right time in March here. So we'll break down those top 3 in a little bit here, but what I think about it, we're talking about these big moments, our players are going to be heroes or villains. I think about the crying Northwestern kid who is now a grown ass adult. Did you guys see that shit?
Yeah. He's, I don't know, was courtside working with something for what conference was it?
ACC.
This is a picture. Yeah, the ACC. Yeah, here's a picture right here.
Yeah, so his dad was the AD at Northwestern, and now is the ACC commissioner here.
That's crazy.
Sorry, speaking of players and stuff from years past, I always forget that Steve Alford is the Nevada coach now.
I said the same thing before we hopped on here. Like they were doing the starting lineups and stuff, and they showed Steve Alford. I'm like, totally forgot he was their coach.
What a career he's had since Iowa.
Did you say, wait, who's that snake oil salesman there? Oh, it's Steve Alford. Never mind.
I just had to take an emergency poop, and it looked just like him.
But no, could you imagine? Because we've all had these moments where, Iowa State, Niang breaks his leg, and then we have a devastating loss. The Iowa Rose Bowl versus Christian McCaffrey. We've had these weak moments where just like you just want to be upset about your team. It's Northwestern, who's never in this tournament. Looking at it, they're playing Gonzaga, who compared to Northwestern is a very good basketball team. And you're just memorized as, hey, remember when you cried that one time? That's just your whole life now.
Dude, I don't know. I kind of hate when they do this just because, like, I don't know if you remember, like, the Niang years and stuff at Iowa State. Like, it'd be a big game at Hilton versus, like, #1 KU or something like that. And then they just keep showing Hoiberg's kids crying at the end of the game. I'm like, and then they keep just cutting back to it.
Which
like
of
10 times.
Which of the 20 Niang years was that?
That was early 80s Niang years. Before Hoiberg was a player there.
Jeez, it's so funny because like it feels like these just happened yesterday, but when I'm trying to find images of these, because I have the crying Northwestern kid here. I'm gonna close that. And then there's the crying Piccolo player from Villanova. Everything is like 280p. Everything is so fucking grainy. But the crying Piccolo player in the first round here, like these moments just get immortalized in history. It's like, hey, remember when he cried on TV that one time? It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, sorry, she's passionate about Villanova basketball, So, I don't know. I just it just reminds me of you guys remember in Superbad where Jonah tells Dave Franco, hey, why don't you go and piss your pants again? He goes, that was like 8 years ago, asshole. It's just that. You cried 8 years ago? People don't forget.
That's awesome.
Let me see here. How do you want to do? You guys want to jump into the games, or you want to do your top 3 on players you think of for March Madness?
Let's hit the games real quick.
Yeah, the games. Good. All righty. Well, let's start with Kansas because you were the first game here on one of the first games. Kansas, they are a 22-point favorite versus Howard. 1:00 on Thursday, TBS. The winner will play number 8 Arkansas, the winner of 8 Arkansas, 9 Illinois. I have Howard in this one.
Yeah, easy. Don't even call it an upset.
You know what? Bill can be gone. McCullough can still be out. And they could probably lose another starter and still cover Howard.
I was going to say, I think 22 is a little light. I bet they win by 30.
What's the latest on Self here, dude?
Dude,
His hair implants look
Dude
good.
had some-
I think he's out.
he's out, but he's got to have glue dry still. I don't know.
What the?
He's
fuck
still
are you
he's
saying,
still that
Siri?
must have been
Shut
a
up.
really bad reaction
It was
to the
it was really
toothpaste
windy.
stick-em.
I hope he didn't get that loosened up a little bit up there.
Wow.
He's just standing at the bathroom counter going, come on, with a hair dryer trying to dry that glue super quick. Yeah, I agree. I
He
don't.
went to the ER. He had his standard care. I think the university, the KU Medical Center put out like a statement where like he came in, he got a couple heart stents, everything looks good. So like the hospital put that statement out there, which I thought was odd that they said what they did to him.
That's HIPAA.
Exactly. So he must have okayed it because they have to have that clearance to put something like that out there. But
What if he didn't?
if they did, yeah.
KU's just
Nice
KU
knowing
Med,
you, KU Med.
KU Med's just like, nah, he works for us. He works for KU.
Oh
What do you
my-
want?
Yeah, if they put that out there with that that document saying they could say that, yeah, because like I read that and I'm like, man, this is a big time HIPAA violation right here. Like, why is the hospital saying what they did? That is, they're not even legally supposed to say he's there, but
Yeah,
unless he okays it. So
he didn't want people thinking he had a whole heart attack there. He wanted to make sure he just
Sounds
he's just
like
a big
he
old
never
drama queen.
officially had a heart attack. He probably had some chest pain or something. Never really kicked into the old cardiac arrest or anything. But it sounds like it was probably looming, probably coming down the pipe, and so they got it checked out and got it taken care of.
If I'm Kansas, first game, who cares? It's Howard. Just let's coast through it. If it's Arkansas, I think you see if Bill Self can come back. If you're playing Illinois, I think you just let him rest another day. I don't think Illinois is a threat, but Arkansas with Musselman, you just never know with his coaching. They might be able to actually make it an interesting game here.
Yeah, and it makes a big difference if McCullough is back. I think they're fine. If McCullough is back, he's kind of a key player on that starting lineup. Big time, big body on the floor. He can cut the basket and get hoops. He can hit the outside shot occasionally, but his presence was not there in that championship game against Texas. And Dwan, he did not play great either in that game. So he had a lot of turnovers, which I think he had like 50 some assists on the year and only like 3 turnovers. It was ridiculous. And then he had like 6 in that game. So
Yikes.
yeah, not a great time. But
Yeah. Well, like you said, good thing is I think you're going to be just fine. This isn't Virginia when they got upset in the 1 seed because they couldn't put up any fucking points that year. So any team that was hitting those threes, they're going to be a threat. So
say as long as Jalen Wilson walks on that court, they're going to be fine.
yeah,
Mhm.
no,
And
I agree.
Grade A dick.
I was just going to say, how much dick is Howard going to get?
The full 6 foot. That's what
I thought he was 6'8".
I think he's like 6'7",
Yeah.
6'6" or
When
something.
it comes to dick, you don't want to forget that 8 inches there. All right, let's move on. Iowa, 1-point underdog.
That's enough dick jokes.
We can, because I know we're gonna make penis jokes for 2.5 minutes, and we can just cut through all that. Imagine whatever basketball term and hard dick, and we've said it, So,
Would.
Iowa, 1-point underdog versus Auburn in a home game for them at 5:50 p.m. on Thursday TNT. The winner will play Houston because Houston ain't gonna lose the first game either. So, Iowa expert Joey, what do you think?
I think the Hawkeyes are going to finish out of the top 3 for total team. Oh wait, shit, we're not to wrestling yet. I was just skipping the NCAA tournament. Iowa's so fucking hit or miss, man. I really do think that they can beat most of the teams in their bracket. I even think that they could beat Houston if they are on. It's just when they're not on, we see them lose like they did against Ohio State. So I don't know. I'm going to pick them to beat Auburn. I do think that they get Pearl's revenge and beat him. But then it's going to be whatever team shows up for the rest of the tournament. If they're on they can make a deep run. If they are off, they may even lose by 30 points to Auburn. So we'll see. But I'm going to pick them to beat Auburn, and then we'll go from there.
I personally think you're either going to go to the Sweet 16 because you're going to be playing like fire, or you're going to lose this game. I don't think there's any in between for Iowa. You saw that streakiness at the end of the year.
I picked them to lose first round. No, I picked them to lose second round. Houston. Okay, cool.
There you go.
Joey knows they ain't going to make the second weekend for the 23rd straight year.
Man, I really want them to. I would love to watch them at the airport while I'm flying home, but yeah, I just don't. They just every time I say that they're going to surprise me and like play out their ass and keep shooting really well, then they lay a stinker like they did against Ohio State. So,
well,
I don't know, man.
They surprised you last year, Joey.
What do you mean?
Because they lost in the first round of the Richmond Spiders. I mean, that's very surprising. Oh no, he left. Oh no. It's interesting. The over under is 100.
Taking my ball and going home.
Yeah, their over under is 151 points. I mean that seems like an easy over bet, dude.
I would think so. Well, like I said, it all depends on if they're shooting. They could.
Mm-hmm. We got to see if Phillip is playing well. Or,
sorry, I was reading Trent's
the comments.
Comments. Awesome.
Yeah.
So you think the over bet is easy money at 151? Both teams got to score
with Iowa's defense. Yeah.
The over.
Yeah, and their offense if they're on.
So both teams got to score over 75.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's Auburn's typical, scoring
On it?
I don't know.
I want you to know off the top of your head, Trent.
I'm such a big SEC fan.
Now, the last 5 games, here's Auburn's team total: 73, 79, 85, 54, and then 78. They lost by 32 points at Kentucky one night. So only 1 out of 4 were they not even remotely close in range. But again, no offense, Iowa is not known for their defense.
Yeah, Iowa has one game where they won 112-71 this year. So, yeah, they've got multiple games over 100 points.
And Iowa also
the Michigan State game was 118 points or 218.
Illinois.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm thinking. I think I just put some easy money on that over, and then I'll cheer for my Hawkeyes. I'll cheer for them to score all those points that I need. Once we hit 152, I can give a fuck less about that game at that point. I will shut that thing off immediately. 152.
Hearing you say my Hawkeyes makes me have to poop again.
Yeah.
That's why we call him Hawkeye Bryant.
Yeah, that's what they call me, all right. They call me Hot Guy Bryant. You are right.
Gross.
You bet that over, and it's probably going to be like a 50-60 game.
No, I wouldn't say
saying,
that
dude.
to curse them, Clark. I'm saying this as an honest friend, as Hot Guy Bryant. So, Uncle Turner Network says he's going to make a drink. I forgot Joey was doing all these goofy ass like True TV Lover 1 as his
Chicago PD Joe.
Now, most important game of the whole season here.
Oh.
Iowa State, 4-point favorites versus Pitt, 210 on a Friday afternoon. True TV, it's the only place you want to play during March Madness.
Yeah.
Winner of this game gets number 3 Xavier versus 14 Kennesaw State, which 14's at least reasonable. It's not the 16. We can see it happening. It won't, but Trent, what do you feel?
Iowa State wins this game versus Pitt. I think Iowa's. Yes,
okay.
They'll cover. Their defense is too good. Like, this is the part of the year I talked about it earlier this year that Iowa State didn't do good the second time around in the Big 12 because the teams have seen their defense. Well, now the teams haven't seen their defense. So I think the defense is going to be the difference for them. Just like it was last year. I mean, nobody expected Iowa State to get to the Sweet 16 last year, and they did it. I think they can do the same this year. I think they beat Pitt. And then the Xavier game, I think they play Xavier. and I think it's that's a good game. But I think Iowa State can beat them. But then they most likely play Texas in the Sweet 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I would say I'm going to take it one game at a time. I'm not going to worry about the Sweet 16 just yet because I think we do. With losing Caleb, even though we have been playing just fine without him, I think losing that is just one more player that's experienced that we can go in here now. When I was doing some scouting with the Pitt Mississippi State game, I was watching either team and I was going, how do we not beat them? To be honest here, I know they're in the play-in game in an 11 seed and everything, but I thought maybe just in my amateur status, I was going like, it looks like they're playing sloppy, just bad basketball. And then I had this tweet, I'm going to pull it up here to just confirm my thoughts. With Pittsburgh winning the game, Pittsburgh is the only D1 team in the last 25 seasons to score 60 or fewer points, shoot 35% or worse on two-pointers, shoot 60% or worse on free throws, get out-rebounded by 20 rebounds, and still win the game. Before that, all D1 teams were 0-348. And that's the team we get to play in the first round here. So,
and then they're going to play a team with a good defense. So,
yeah, exactly. And Mississippi State had good defense too. You know, it was just they couldn't get it done on the offensive end, which, let's be honest, kind of sounds like us at sometimes. But I just think with the extra rest, they have to try and learn, our offense and learn how to play us in 2 days rest.
Yep.
They actually got lucky. Typically, the Tuesday playing games have to play on Thursday, I learned. Well, they get an extra day of rest. They get to play Friday. So before, I'm just going to have the first excuse. Iowa State got screwed because they got an extra day of rest here compared to where they should have played. So if we lose, that's why.
Yeah, that confused me. I thought that game was tonight.
Yeah, it was. I think it should have been tonight if they're going to play on Friday. But
yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to do just fine. I mean, frankly, we have played so well this year. There's very few teams where I could go, I think we can lose to anyone in this tournament, and I think we can beat just about anyone. There's a few teams where I go, no chance. But, I mean, no offense. Yeah. You play Kansas with them two in Field, Allen House, and beat Kansas at some point in the year. I think we're going to beat anyone in this tournament,
Yep.
So, frankly, right now, I'm kind of flying high on us. I think we make it to at least the Sweet 16, no matter who we play, Pitt and then one of the other two. And then you'll hear us heartbroken next week, I guess, if not. So, I mean, it's a win-win for the listeners. But let's see here. What's the last game I had? Oh, I had Drake just because Iowa team. Three Iowa teams. No one gets to play in Des Moines the first weekend.
Yeah.
I thought that was
all in the same quarter of the bracket too. Crazy.
Yeah. Get sent down to Alabama and New York, but don't worry, Texas gets to come up here. We get to see Tyrese Hunter. I mean, there's fucking they couldn't have picked worse. But Drake 2.5-point underdog versus Miami 6:30 on Friday TBS. Winner gets to play number 4 Indiana and 13 Kent State. Joey, is a 6th favorite team Miami expert, what do you think here?
Second favorite team. Oh, okay. They won the ACC regular season. Got their guard hurt for the ACC championship run in the tournament. So I think Miami makes a deep run. I have them in my Final Four. So yeah, we can jump into that later. But yeah, they're my big dark horse for this whole tournament. All
right. I personally don't even think they beat Drake, but I don't think you make it out of the second round. But that's why we have the tournament, so we can have different opinions.
It is a tough 5-12 matchup. And Drake's very, very good.
And very old.
If the guy that they call baby food doesn't become healthy before the game, I could see them, losing in that very first round. But they've got the ACC rating player of the year in Wong, so I think they'll be okay getting it past Drake. But yeah, I think they make a deep run, man.
He killed us last year in the Sweet 16, dude. When I was in Chicago, he just ripped my fucking heart out. Those guards, they were just playing fucking lights out, and we just could not do anything that night.
Yep, and that's the other thing is they've got experience going deep last year. So, I like it.
The only other thing I had before we kind of get to our March Madness players here, I saw a couple of these charts here. I thought was kind of interesting. On the left was just the round of 64 result. It shows every matchup and every winner. You can kind of see where it starts to spike at the 12-5 matchups that have been going on, and then even the 11-6s, which terrifies me because obviously Iowa State being the 6th seed, but yeah, and then on the right side, speaking of it's the 12-5, 13-4 matchups. They have said every year, if you in the last 14 years, 11 times you've been positive on money. If you bet every money line and every against the spread, you would be up. It says like 19.5 units, depending on against the spread or money line. So that's what you just need to do. You need to bet the 12 and 13 seed to cover and win the money line, and you're going to make money this weekend. So make sure you get when you go down to Iowa, Trent. Make sure you put those bets in.
If I do that, it is a done deal that the lower seed wins.
Yeah, I mean, you know what happens now that this is public knowledge and everyone is finding these little tips and tricks. It will not go through this year.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we'll I would say anything else. Just any other games that kind of intrigued you from the first round.
I want to know.
UCSB
do you have
Gauchos.
Sorry.
Going to beat Baylor.
14-3 matchup. I think I've heard that is kind of a hot pick right now with how Baylor is kind of. I mean, no offense, Iowa State's beat them 3 times this year, and we lost to Oklahoma State twice. You know, we're very finicky, but we somehow beat Baylor 3 times. So you never know on that one. What were you gonna say, Joe?
I just want to know: do you have a Iowa State tracksuit? You said you were scouting the other night. I want to know what you were sitting around in. Were you sitting around in an Iowa State tracksuit?
Yeah,
being Bob Huggins over there.
I got a basketball like kind of like zip up and jumper. Yeah, no, it's not like a Louis Vuitton jumpsuit or a tracksuit or anything, but I got one.
Man, I think that's my favorite thing that Rochelle talks about you about is your tracksuit the first time she met you, chilling out by the campfire. So I just wondered.
People make fun of me. It's very fashionable to have matching tops and bottoms, man. I'm telling you, you know, I have one tailored tracksuit. If you want me to be honest, that's velour. I get compliments all the time on it, and it's comfy as shit too. So, ladies, because I know a bunch of ladies listen to this podcast. If you're looking for a gift for your man for Christmas, a tailored velour tracksuit, and he'll love you forever.
Dude, they have these onesies now that look like hoodies and sweatpants that you like climb in the back of, and you can even open them up to go poop. I want one so bad. So
they like
fucking
zip
bad.
down the side. Did you see the price of them?
Yeah, they're like $200.
Yeah, like closer to $250.
Yeah, I've got 2.
I'll make you one for half the
suits.
price.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, sew it together. I've got 2 suits coming for 2 weddings that I paid only $100 more than that damn zip up, sit around sweatpants suit. So yeah.
Well, there we go, and that's tracksuit talk because we absolutely just fucking love them.
That's fashion talk, fashion sense with Bryant.
So yeah, fashion sense.
We keep it up. We might just have Travis Kelce on the podcast.
Yeah,
Fashion show at lunch.
Jesus Christ. Last one I had here is just the national championship odds. Houston current favorites at plus 550. I was a little shocked at that. Alabama 2 at plus 700. Kansas at plus 900. Purdue at plus 1100. Let's see. Your Miami Hurricanes plus 4,500. Joey. Iowa State plus 5,000. What the hell's Iowa on here?
They're plus 12,500.
Yeah. Plus 12,500. So at least all our teams made the chart here. It was from Barstool Sports. So I don't know if I'm
weird how Iowa has longer odds than Iowa State, and we all know how that game turned out. So
at the beginning of the year,
yeah, weird.
Yeah, it didn't happen in March though, right?
Well, let's just put it this way: neither team got better throughout the year. We'll just leave it at that.
And let's put it this way: we made a Sweet 16 last year. Iowa didn't, or the year before that, or the year before that.
Keep saying it 20 more times, Bryant.
Yeah. Got him. Because Iowa fans said that about Iowa State football, New York Six Bowls since the dawn of time. So now we have to bring up Sweet 16s. And
I think Iowa State needs to quit scheduling Iowa basketball. We're just their Super Bowl. It does us no good.
All it does is drag us down.
Lose.
If we win, it means nothing. If we lose everything. Right, Joy?
Sure.
So angry right now.
No, I'm changing my name again because I just remembered that Fairleigh Dickinson won. And when I tried to pull up the score on my ESPN app, it came up as Fair Dickin, and I could not have been more happy.
Yeah, the Fairleigh Dickinson was Fair Dickin. That's also Trent. If the referees are bad in our game, that's what we're going to say. We're getting a Fair Dickin right now from the refs.
Unfair Dickin.
There you go. So, all righty, we'll move on here. Like we said, you
do we want to do a Hamilton bet between me and the Iowa State people
for
whichever team makes it farther?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in.
Trent, how did that
Sorry,
take you
Clark.
so long? They're going to lose the first round.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Come on, Joey.
Okay, we'll do a Washington bet with Clark on whose team goes farther. We'll give him a quarter, but if Iowa State goes farther, he pays us $1. I think
What the hell kind of deal is this?
It's a 4-for-1. Yeah, Joey, I will take that. If you just want to Venmo me, it's at Hot Guy Bryant. Just send that $10 now. But Iowa State will make it farther than Iowa.
I should
send
him
Wilkes.
I should send him a Venmo request right now.
And just to clarify, if they both make it the same distance, null and void, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I just want
So
to
if
make
they
sure.
both lose first round, we'll be fine.
All right, well, thank you. Jesus Christ. Anyways, so we alluded to it earlier, but top 3 March Madness players. So, again, this is the time of year, heroes, villains, everything else. Everyone thinks of certain players this time of year. Joy, let's start with you. You seem to have a lot to want to talk about tonight. So you start with your list.
Okay. Of course, I got King Kemba leading UConn to the Natty. I don't know, what was this, 12, 15 years ago now? But
yeah,
it's really the
2011.
first time. Okay, cool. First time that a point guard had really just taken over the tournament. A lot of times you see wing players or shooting guards that score, but man, he just took that fucking thing over. The next one is Carmelo Anthony. He's probably the second best college player I've ever seen behind Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin would be on this list, but he broke his leg in the Conference USA basketball tournament the week before. So that didn't happen. But yeah, Melo was just super fucking dominant for that Syracuse team. The only reason he's not number one, he had a little bit of a better supporting cast. I know Bryant's going to allude to one here in a little bit, but that's why he's not my number one. And then after that, Tayshaun Prince, he was on a very, very fucking good Kansas team. I'm pretty sure Perry Ellis was on there. If he wasn't, I'm sure they were thinking about him. But he had some amazing blocks in their last, I believe they played the Raymond Felton UNC team that year in the championship. And he just went off on defense. And it was one of the most spectacular things I've ever seen of just taking over a game, not on the offensive side. And if anyone knows how I like to watch sports, I love defense. I love, holding your own, putting your last stand type of thing. So I love Tayshaun Prince. So those are my 3 that I remember very vaguely or very distinctly, I guess.
Sorry, I was just adding to my list here. Clark, how about you? Just a bunch of Jayhawks?
Well, Brian, I'm going to start from – we'll just start from the top. Hang on. Let me share this screen for you. Got to take you back here. This moment right here. He's my number one.
Ooh.
Oh.
Super
Mario Chalmers hitting the big-time 3 to tie the game, which then led them to overtime, in which they were victorious over Memphis. So,
Well, yeah, let's get full screen on that thing.
oh yeah, that picture there is like it's hanging mural size there in Allen Field House. So, yeah, anytime come March Madness or walking through the museum there, just
Joe,
take time to appreciate.
It's crazy the ball is that far out of his hand. It looks like he's just going to airball it to the right.
That looks like the biggest brick is gonna have fucking hit someone in the stand.
The other ones that are on my list here.
Mhm.
Oh, let me pull it out. I made notes today, but you kind of watch highlights for March Madness, like it's on commercials, kind of leading up every year. And there's one shot that we've all seen. We're all probably going to see it at least 50 times here in the next week, and that's Christian Laettner hitting that shot. And then I was thinking of like all-time basketball greats, and I was looking for, I was trying to rack my brain. It's like, there's got to be something on LeBron James. Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
He played
He
for
didn't want to
Akron.
play in the greatest basketball event that ever happened. So he never went to college because he's, sucky like that. So I
That's
went with
gotta
Michael
be what
Jordan,
it is.
the best basketball player of all time. I took Michael Jordan's moment where he hit a game winner for the Tar Heels.
If only LeBron would have went into debt by $100,000, and
he ain't going in debt. He's on athletic scholarship.
Now
Now
he's unsuccessful. I don't understand it. He didn't do the education system, so he's an unsuccessful loser now. So,
Jeez, I'd have felt so bad for him right now if he would have went into debt by having to go to college.
Right.
Felt terrible.
Exactly.
Like he would have never made enough money to pay it back.
I think PMT posed this question like it was like a month or so ago, but I like the premise of it. Like if he had to do the one and done, like they eventually changed it to, would it not be awesome to see like he's like, I'm going 1-1 overall next year anyways, if he just would have went to Akron for a year and just see how far him himself could have lifted the Akron aren't they the
Zips?
Zips. I was gonna say anteaters, but it's not
Zips.
it. So
well, yeah. Could you imagine
how far he
like
could take the Zips.
especially like in an NIL deal now, just some rinky-dink ass school just bankrupting themselves, knowing that they're going to get the NCAA tournament and making that $350,000 every fucking round, making that NIL money back, and then getting recruits to come and be like, "Yeah, LeBron James played here." That'd have been fucking amazing. That is a mercenary, baby.
This might be a stupid comment, but we all, I think, went to public high schools. Isn't when they recruit you to go to Catholic high schools like St. Edmunds or whatever, wasn't that just the early days of NIL? Hey, why don't you come here? Most people have to pay, but you can come here for free and you get these benefits. Isn't that just NIL?
Pretty much.
Yeah, all right. That was it. So LeBron already kind of got his NIL with what the fuck's the school, Joey? It's not St. Mary's. It's high school.
Where did he go to school?
Yeah, Saint somethings.
St. Vincent.
Yeah, where do you wear the
Mary's is
leprechaun
where he
colors?
St. Vincent, St. Mary's. Okay, I had half.
Yeah.
I actually had 3/4 of it because I said Saint, and that's two of the words. So
That's right. That's true.
I just didn't have Vincent in there. But yeah, LeBron James. We all know. See, I'm glad he didn't go to college because you want to know where he would have went. He would have went to the villain Ohio State Buckeyes. They would have won a championship, and their fans would be even more sufferable. So I'm fine that he went straight to the NBA. If you want me to be honest.
LeBron James.
LeBron James, one of the best
LeBron
lines of all
James.
time. Trent, do you want to go or do you want me to?
I'll go.
Let's hear him.
When Clark was talking about hitting big shots, I thought he was going with Ali Farouk Manesh.
Mhm. Nice.
Wrong.
Ooh.
No, he is not one of mine. So
That's just a callback.
I have Kemba Walker as one of mine. So I have a duplicate here from Joey. Dude had a crazy tournament. And then kind of a villain, not really a villain. I have Anthony Davis. He had another monster tournament, won a national championship, played Iowa State in that tournament, I believe, the Royce White year. Iowa State had them on the ropes, like it was a close game. But again, Anthony Davis happened. So, and my third one, total villain. I believe this player knocked Iowa State out of like the 2005 or 2006 tournament. Tyler Hansbrough.
No,
Dude played in like 200 NCAA tournament games, it felt like.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Psycho
Total
T.
villain. Yeah. Nobody liked him unless you were.
Psycho T.
I don't think Tyler Hansborough would have gone for North Carolina's approach this year, where it's like, yeah, we're not going to that tournament. Like the dude was playing every single game he could.
Yeah.
Oh
Every
yeah,
game.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I-
Honorable mention, I was going to say Bryce Drew. That shot that he made was 25 years ago today.
Nice.
I don't even know what
Okay.
shot you're talking about.
Bryce, yeah, just Bryce Drew. Google it, man.
I'm on it, man.
Valpo. Is that who played for Valparaiso?
Yep.
There you go. Well,
25
I'll
years
get-
ago.
I'll get through my list here so we can just keep moving on. Again, I had Kemba Walker. I'm just going to move on from that because we've said it so many damn times. That was the one time everyone says Kobe when they're shooting in the garbage. I changed it that year to Kemba, and because it a lot of similar letters, and he was just
Mhm.
fucking draining buckets that season. First one, this one's probably just a technicality because they lost in the first round, but Jerry McNamara for Syracuse. He took a Syracuse team that did not deserve to be in the tournament and went through those Big East tournaments back in the day, the 5-day fucking 16 teams. That is still the best basketball tournament. Almost back in the day when they had Georgetown and all of these basketball schools, that was on par with the NCAA tournament in my opinion. But Jerry McNamara had a hero's run. That I believe they lost to Texas A&M in that first round in that 5-12 matchup. Absolute villain, Aaron Kraft. You can go fuck yourself. I absolutely hate you to the core. Kid couldn't fucking shoot a basketball, and then he hits a goddamn 3 like that at the end of the game. Worst person imaginable. I hate you. Kemba Walker, as I mentioned. Surprising appearance, crying. Adam Morrison. Only that version of him where he's on the floor crying. That's a March Madness moment. You will see it at one point because it'll show some senior crying his last basketball game ever. And it's like, hey, remember all these famous criers? Northwestern kid, Adam Morrison, laying face down.
You say it'll most likely be a Gonzaga player because you know how I feel about them.
Yep.
Playing a weak conference and
Same.
then shit the bed in the tournament every year.
Mickey Mouse tournament. Tournament. And I was trying to think of like someone way back in the day. I was thinking like the D Brown, Sean May national championship year. For some reason, that was just like very early on. But yeah, I tried to keep Cyclones out of it just because I wanted to keep it like someone that like has seared into Aaron Kraft. I will just never forgive him. You know, did it affect me at all at that point? No, it probably affected one bracket where I said we were going one round farther, but like, oh, that 3 was just a dagger in my freaking heart, dude. So, I'll be honest. I was going to see if we wanted to talk about women's basketball. All we're going to say is Iowa State's going to win it all. Joey's going to say Iowa. The one person is Clark. Who's your women's team you got to pull for because Kansas didn't make it?
South Carolina's not losing a game.
Oh my God, you're going for the villains.
Yep.
I asked my wife earlier because she turned on the women's game, and I was like, "Is anybody in this tournament gonna beat South Carolina?" She's like, "There's a few teams who could. Iowa was one that she mentioned, not Iowa State, but yeah, she said that Iowa women might have a chance." Were the words she used. So South Carolina undefeated.
Yep. I've got
so
South
they're
Carolina
undefeated right
beating UConn in my national championship. I've got South Carolina, Iowa in one side of the Final Four, and LSU, UConn on the other side.
So I
women's basketball is pretty predictable usually.
Yep.
I asked Joey about this earlier, and I just want to make sure clarified on air. You're okay with a highly ranked Iowa team playing a lowly ranked team from Louisiana in the first round? You're feeling comfortable with that?
I am because of Caitlin fucking Clark. She is amazing, and I think she is the best player in basketball right now. So there's that.
Oh, men's and women's, huh? Her versus Kyrie, who wins?
Handles, Kyrie, shots. That's up there, man.
Okay,
I'll take Caitlin probably sometimes.
I like it.
I'll take Caitlin probably sometimes. Jesus Christ.
I had it at the bottom here. We can just plow through these real quick. What's the biggest upset that you see in the tournament?
Grand Canyon.
UCSB over Baylor.
Baylor. Joy, you said Grand Canyon. Clark.
Damn it, Brian! I'm gonna have to pull up my bracket again.
Well,
I
while
didn't
you're
look at
doing
the
that,
bottom
I think
here.
I got two of them, and they're actually side by side. I have Drake's going to beat Miami in the first round, and then I have Kent State beating Indiana in the first round as well. And it's going to be a 12-13 matchup. It's going to be one of the few first round upsets this year.
So I didn't pick
Damn.
UCSB to beat Baylor. That was just my hot take. I don't know what my biggest upset that I actually picked was.
Stick to your guns. Come
Sorry.
on.
That's just my hot take.
I filled this bracket out in about 5 seconds, and I was like, "Yep, that's it. That's the winner."
Yep,
And,
I did the same thing.
I
Sent it.
actually picked Grand Canyon over Gonzaga.
See, Trent, Joey is a true Gonzaga hater. He has them in his official bracket losing first round.
That's probably the best team Gonzaga's played all year.
Yep. So,
Trent, real quick,
since
what's
we're
Grand Canyon mascot? We said it earlier.
I know it, and I can't remember what the hell it was.
That's the Lopes.
The
Too
Antelopes,
bad, so
that's
sad.
right.
You don't win the money. You get nothing.
All right, biggest upset I got, Bryant.
Yeah.
VCU, a 12 seed.
Good one.
Who are they beating?
Good one.
They've got St. Mary's in the first round.
Ooh, solid.
Mhm.
But I've got them making a little bit of a run. They win the second round too. They're going to
Sweet,
take
sweet.
down
VCU's
number 4
good.
UConn.
Again,
VCU's real good.
Mickey Mouse Conference, St. Mary's.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I got a question for everybody. Do you do? I think we talked about this last year. One bracket or multiple brackets in all of your tournaments?
One bracket.
Same. Good.
I probably do two. I probably do one for work, and then like for this one, I'll just do a second one.
Wait, but same bracket or different picks?
No, I just go with what my heart feels when I'm filling it out.
Oh man, I will pull up my other one and fill out like 10 of them that I have to write on. Yeah.
Why fill? Oh shit! I'm off work tomorrow. I forgot to print off. That's the only thing you ever use printers for nowadays is print off these damn brackets
See?
so you can highlight
Yep.
it.
Exactly.
Fucking amateur
Exactly.
move for the weekend. Joey, we talked about this earlier. Team making a run. You had Miami. How far are they making it?
Yep. I've got them in the Final Four for me. Do you want to know my Final Four?
Sure.
This doesn't come out till tomorrow, so people can't really change it. But I've got
Yeah, sure.
Arizona. Well, anyway, Arizona, Purdue, Miami, Kansas for my Final Four.
Well, before we move to the next one, did you know that no team unranked in the preseason poll has ever made the Final Four? That includes Purdue.
Ooh,
So
damn.
if they don't make it, you heard it from Brian first that you were wrong. So
Purdue wasn't ranked at the beginning of the year?
guess not. I heard it probably on TikTok, so it's got to be right?
Stop
Like that
sending me TikTok
40-22 or
videos.
some shit. Clark, you got NC State making a run? They barely made it in the tournament.
Yeah, they barely
Have
made
you
it in the
seen
tournament.
those
I don't care. I
fucking
picked them.
bulldozers they got down low and their fucking guards. NC State's good.
They got Creighton. Then they're going to take down Baylor.
Okay. Now that you're saying the opponents, that makes a lot more sense then.
Yeah, and that puts them in the Sweet 16. That's where it ends. But
yeah. Also, if any team bitches about being the one of the last four out of the tournament, and then you lose your first game of the NIT, you don't get a bitch anymore. Sorry, that was you lost in the shittier tournament, and you can't say that our heart wasn't in it. Your heart was ready to play basketball on Sunday. It doesn't matter if it's NIT or NCAA. I guess get good, kid. You should have won more games the regular season.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Rutgers, Oklahoma State, and North Carolina. Anyone that barely missed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
I thought
I just
the NIT started. I was like, wait, what?
They
used
did.
my printer for the one piece of paper for the year.
Did you have to plug it back in? Because that's the only time it's ever been on this year.
What? The dust off it.
Jesus. Who's your team that's not a 1 seed that's going to make a run here, Trent?
UCLA. I know they're a 2 seed, but
I have the second favorite in that division.
I do have Kentucky in the Elite 8. They are a 6 seed.
Ooh, I like that one. I do sneaky have Duke in the Elite 8, I think. And then another one, only because I have the other upset, is Kent State. Kent State is going to beat Indiana. Drake versus Miami. Kent State beats Drake. They're in the Sweet 16. People are going, what in the fuck happened here? So Kent State's the one I'm going to be going all in on. Best bet, I would say this one was just kind of goofy. I already said it earlier. You bet all the money lines and against the spreads against the 12 and 13 seeds, you're going to be up money. Joey said 7 or above makes the Elite 8 is going to be his best bet. Well, I guess that would be
year for the last 14 years, a 7 or higher seed has made it.
okay. Anyone in particular? If you want to yell from across the room,
Yeah, you're welcome. I didn't want to miss this segment. If I had to pick one, goddamn, I know I have one.
we need an answer. ASAP,
I have
Joey.
Northwestern, Grand Canyon. Wait, no, that's the wrong ones. I don't have one. Fuck me. Well, look at me. I didn't. Oh, I have
Oh my
Northwestern
God.
making the Elite 8 and Grand Canyon. Never mind. We're good.
You have Northwestern in the Elite 8?
Nope. I have Grand Canyon in the Elite 8. My bad.
You have the Lopes in the Elite 8. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hey, that's a.
Mhm.
So
that's a
I'm
hell of a
curious,
pick.
Joey, have you actually watched any of Grand Canyon's games this year?
No.
Okay, all right, just making sure this was a blind pick. All right.
Specifically Grand Canyon. You know who their celebrity fan is? Like Chiefs have Paul Rudd and stuff. Guess who Grand Canyon's celebrity fan is? It's Frankie Muniz from Malcolm in the Middle. He like goes to like all of their. He's always in the front row at all their games. He loves the Grand Canyon
NASCAR
animal.
driver, Frankie Muniz.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah, he drives NASCAR now.
Yep.
And he also has one of the best burns ever in Twitter. This is like before Wendy's got corporatized and hey, we're a company, but we're funny and everything else. Some guy goes, what's that dipshit Frankie Muniz doing? He's like, well, I'm retired at 19 with $35 million in the bank. What are you doing? And it's like, the guy had to delete his Twitter account before it was even cool to delete your Twitter account because he got owned that badly. You know, back in the day, that probably had 8,000 retweets, and that was the biggest tweet of all time. You know,
Hell yeah.
so.
I
and
picked
then,
Grand Canyon just because I think they beat Gonzaga first round, and then that just spurs momentum, and they just keep
there we
running it
go.
until they get to Kansas, and then that buzzsaw athleticism just runs them over.
The Grand Canyon, America's vagina. Who is your guys' national champions? Or I guess hold on, Final Four, and then your grand national champion.
Yeah, I got to pull mine up again. Okay, my Final Four:
Yeah.
Arizona,
Okay.
Purdue.
Okay.
As much as I hate this, Texas
Yep.
and UCLA.
All right.
Hey, Trent, you know UCLA just lost their leading scorer, right?
Don't care.
Okay.
No, I did not.
I did the same thing earlier, Trent. In my work bracket, I fucked it up pretty bad. I had UCLA winning it, and I was like, it was $5, and if they make a miracle run, I look that much smarter, So,
Everybody's gonna be doubting them at this point. So
gee,
That's why I
Clark,
picked
wonder
Northwestern
who you
over
have,
them.
Clark, who do you have in
My-
your Final Four? I wonder who you have winning it too.
ooh, all right. Well, I'm gonna go with the side of the bracket you can all already assume. We've got Kansas, we've got
Absolutely.
Texas. All
Oh.
right, that
Hate it already.
yeah, it's looking great. Pretty grim over there, especially since I
Can
picked
a-
Texas again.
Can
On
a
the other
meteor
side,
hit the Final Four stadium?
just a meteor. Is that what you said? A meteor
A
hit the
meteor.
final-
Yeah.
Just a passing asteroid just happens upon the stadium.
Yep.
In this one approximate location, please, for the love of
Well,
God.
Bryant would be happy because Brandon Miller from Alabama would be there, and so then we wouldn't have to worry about him anymore.
Yeah.
He's the third team on my list in that Final Four, and then the fourth one to round it all out. Actually, because I changed my answer from NC State, because the team that I have making a run, who's not a number 1 seed, is Duke. They're in the Final Four. Duke's looking hot right now, so they're
So you have
scared.
2 1s, a 2, and a 5. I like it.
Alabama, Kansas, Texas, Duke.
Mhm.
And Bama's going to win it all because they're just stupidly athletic and long.
Joey, you said your Final Four earlier.
I did. You want it again?
Sure. You want to go through it real quick?
Zona, Purdue, Miami, Kansas.
Miami, Kansas. Who'd you have winning it?
Zona.
Zona. Okay.
Mhm.
I think me and Clark are thinking too much alike as being Chiefs fans together.
We were right about them winning that Super Bowl, so everybody better be listening.
Yeah, these are the winners right here. I realize that the NCAA tournament, because I have a team that I love in this tournament, so I know everything's going to go haywire, and the teams I absolutely hate with my heart are going to do something this year. So I have Alabama, I have Duke, I have Texas, but instead of Kansas, I have UConn in there. And I have UConn in the final with Alabama, and I have Alabama winning because God isn't real and because they allowed Brandon Miller to play in this fucking tournament after handing a gun off to someone to murder someone with no punishment. Of course, they're going to win it all. And the worst tweet I've ever seen in quite a while was it was like a Barstool Council, no shocker, but it was like Bama fans are like, we're okay with being the villain. It's like we don't hate you because you're good like Duke and Coach K every year. We hate you because a young woman was murdered. 2 people on your team did it, and a third handed the gun off, and there was no repercussions. And the SEC doesn't give a shit. Alabama doesn't give a shit. So of course the worst people are going to win. So it's a little schadenfreude. Alabama's going to win, and I'm going to win my tournament bracket, or they're going to lose, and I'm going to believe in God again. So that's how it works.
There you go.
I just need God to smite them. That's it.
I need to enter my work tournament when we get off here. That reminds me, because winner gets $1,100 or some shit like that. So, yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
I thought when I was talking about a murderer that got off scot-free, I thought that's what sparked you about your work.
No, well, no. They just hide other shit.
Okay, I just went, yeah, so they're good at hiding, not getting charged. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Boom! Find all that shit.
But for my national champion, I just put the bad guys, because if Alabama doesn't win, it's going to be Texas. I mean, it's just got to be the worst teams that I would not want to win. Kansas would be a close third, to be honest, because Kansas fans, back-to-back national championships, any team back-to-back national championships, but let alone in your own conference, it would just kill me. It would kill Trent, kill everyone in the Big 12.
Woo! It wouldn't kill me, baby. Woo!
And Clark would his smile would be bigger than the Grinch's when it goes ear to ear there. So.
Yeah, tune in for that podcast the week after, because it's going to be unbearable.
Amateur Hour will be canceled. I'll just never. I will not acknowledge that national championship. It'll actually just say Amateur Hour, probably 16 or 17, and it's just going to be called the asterisk episode, and we're just going to talk about all the claims of why Kansas actually cheated. Bill was getting a he was getting a penis enlargement surgery and a toupee put on. Lap band. Why that's why he wasn't at the beginning of the tournament. They actually, Adidas paid them extra money on top of NIL. It's just going to be everything bashing Kansas. Well, but I will claim the Big 12 national championship. So
we'll just start Amateur Hour back up for football season.
Before we finish, we got a question here. Jason's asking if we have a lock for tomorrow's games.
Lock for tomorrow. Let me get tomorrow's slate pulled up. I'm sure I can bullshit through one here. I'll be honest. For a lock tomorrow, we already talked. The one I talked about was Iowa Auburn over 151. Will Iowa cover tomorrow.
So here's my thing. After Bryant shitting on Alabama so hard for like 5 minutes, I'm surprised Jason's still here. He's a Bama fan.
He just realizes it's jealousy. I mean, I
Well,
understand where it's at.
yeah.
Will Iowa cover tomorrow? I frankly don't think so, man. Sorry,
I'm gonna
Joey,
go with. That's fine. I don't give a shit what you say. Missouri over Utah State. I think Missouri is very good coming out of the SEC, and I don't think Utah State's that good.
And Missouri's a 1-point underdog, so they win. Yeah, that's a good bet, dude.
Thanks.
Trent, you got any locks?
I haven't really looked that far into it. I know, being the betting king that I am from the road to 272, I probably should have, but I did not. Sorry.
Another. I'm just going through the rest of the games. None of them really stick out too much. I've heard a little bit about Louisiana Lafayette about being one of those potential dark horses for upsetting Tennessee.
Mhm.
You know, their cover's 11.5. You know, so possibly. Is Missouri a good bet? I mean, they beat Iowa State this year pretty handily. I know that doesn't take a lot of actual offense, but if they can beat Iowa State handily like that, I think. Where is it? Utah State, we said. Sorry, I'm trying to. I'm scrolling all over this thing. I think that was Utah State. Safe bet there, Ryan.
They ended up getting like 4th overall. Well, I guess they don't do 3rd and 4th, but they got 4th overall regular season SEC, and they made it to the semifinals in the SEC tournament. So they're not a bad team. Bama obviously ran away with that conference, but they're very good.
I'm pretty sure they were playing Bama in that semifinal whenever they lost. I was watching that game. The game before, Mizzou they looked very capable. Were making good shots. I mean, they were competing with Alabama for at least that first half too. So
if it
that
says
Demoy
anything,
Turner or whatever made 2 back-to-back buzzer beaters for the first half of that, because he got. I don't remember how it went, but he made one, and then it was an immediate foul, and then they passed it to him again. And he made another one. So yeah.
If it says anything as well, it opened at a 2.5-point favor for Utah State, and it's slowly been trickling down to that 1 point. So I think people are slowly starting to edge towards Missouri. Oh, another big bet here. Do not bet on any Mountain West team. They're like 0-8 in the last 4 tournaments. And Nevada, who is supposed to be a hot team that was going to make a run, they're losing by 22 points currently to Arizona State. So that would be another one. Boom. You know, San Diego State, I mean, that Charleston game, they're 31-3, I believe. I think that'd be a pretty good 5-12 upset too.
Is that the game? Didn't Nevada have 2 players from Arizona State on their team transfers?
I think so.
I'll be honest.
I think that's the one. Yeah.
Well, Steve Alford, where's he going to fail upwards next?
I don't know if going from Iowa to Nevada is failing anywhere.
Well, slick back hair. The dude just looks like a used car salesman.
Yeah. Well, I say failed up because he went from Iowa, then New Mexico. I can't remember who was there beforehand, but they were like USC a 30-win team. No, he went to New Mexico first, then UCLA.
Okay.
I'm like 90% certain. I'll double check on that, but
no, you're fine. You're probably right.
What 12-5s? We talked about earlier. I like Drake over Miami just with that Miami injury guard that's injured. It was his guard, right, Joey?
It's power forward.
Power forward. Sorry, I had a 1/3 shot. Center, guard, forward. I mean, you
don't know all the players from every team that's playing. What are you doing? Come on.
So
somebody said VCU over St. Mary's. St. Mary's in that Mickey Mouse conference.
So Brian's taking Drake over Miami and Charleston over San Diego State, and I'm taking VC over St. Mary's. Which one's left here? Oral Roberts, Duke.
Yeah.
Oral Roberts' game.
I think if Oral Roberts would have ended up with any other 5 seed, they would have been the go ahead. Like, just pick them. Like, it's unfair that this 5 seed ended up with the hottest team right now. You know, with not only shooting very well, but a 7-5 center. I mean, Matt Painter was creaming his jeans when he was watching that conference championship game with that 7-5 center.
Yep.
So, Jason asked, see any value in any NCAA championship futures? I took Marquette 20-1 and looking to add a team on the other side of the bracket. Let me just see which side of the bracket Marquette's on.
Marquette's in the East.
East, okay, so then the other side. I mean, the other side of the teams that were in our finals, a lot of us had Texas, Kansas, UConn.
Miami.
If UCLA didn't,
I would say Texas is figuring
it
it out. As much as that pains me because of Tyrese Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, I have Iowa State and Texas meeting in the Sweet 16, and I have Texas winning that.
Shit, we actually
I bet with my brain, not my heart on that one.
Sorry, Jason. We'll just pull this right back up. We actually have all the odds here. It's a little hard to read towards the bottom, but those are your top heavy ones. But Texas, right at the top of the Midwest bracket there, they're plus 1,300 right now. So that would probably be, I think, like we just went over. I think that would probably be sadly the best odds there. Them or Kansas. I think the Big 12 has just been so good, and we've went through so many tough games. It's going to be tough to, we're used to the adversity. Just like SEC football, and definitely not Big 10 football.
I hate
but it is like Big 10
so
wrestling.
Much. Oh, are you transitioning? Is that good? Are we done with this bullshit?
Yeah, we'll do. I'd say we'll do. If you guys don't mind, we'll go through we have our March Madness talking about wrestling, and we'll come back to basketball questions at the end here.
Nice. I will try not to make this too boring for those that don't listen, but Bryant, could you share my picks?
Yeah, give me a
screen
second
there.
Here. Yeah, if you want to start going over them, I'll get it pulled up here in a second.
So NCAA wrestling starts tomorrow morning. There's 2 rounds tomorrow, 2 rounds Friday, and then consolation Saturday morning, final Saturday night. Should be a great ass tournament. I have picks for my top 3 place winners for each for each weight, and then also a dark horse of each one. Sorry, Clark, Wyatt Hendrickson did not make any of that for you. Sorry, bud. But
your picks are trash. Don't listen to them. Wyatt Hendrickson's going to win the heavyweights by fall.
He will not. Nope. Heavyweight is all locked up by the Big Ten. But if you are looking to get into the sport, looking for something else to watch this weekend, give yourself a break from basketball, or if you're like me and want this on your main screen with UFC on Saturday night, that's what I'm going to be doing. But as far as predictions go, I really, really think Spencer Lee wins his 4th national championship, also wins that Hodge Trophy, which is the equivalent of the Heisman Trophy. So then the rest of 125, I've got Patrick Laurie from Princeton, Liam Cronin from Nebraska, and my dark horse is Patrick McKee from Minnesota. He wrestled Spencer Lee very, very well. He was the first one that he didn't get bonus points on this year. So I've got McKee at 125. Bryant, does anyone else want to jump in on this whatsoever?
I don't know anything I'd be talking about.
I have no knowledge, except David Carr is going to win the 165 championship. It's obvious.
Yep.
That works for me. I just didn't want to leave anyone out, so I'm just going to run through this then. So 133 for 125, 133, and 141. And kind of 149. I'm pretty chalk. I think they got the seedings right, and the dominant wrestlers have been very dominant this year. So I've got RBY for Penn State, Dayton Fix, Oklahoma State, and then Araujo from Cornell. Dark horse there, an Iowa guy, Kyle Biscaglia from Southeast Polk. So that should be a very good bracket as well. 141, Real Woods from Iowa, Andrew Alvarez, Northern Colorado, and number 3, Cole Matthews from Pitt. They've had Alvarez ranked number 1 for a lot of the year until the conference tournament. So I'm excited to see that matchup when it actually when it actually comes down to it. But my dark horse in that is Bo Bartlett from Penn State, and he wrestled everyone very well in the Big Tens. I do think that he could make a very deep run in this. And I tried to pick double-digit seeds for all my dark horses, but I just really think the world of Bo, and I think he's going to be very good in this tournament. So I think, put him down as my dark horse.
Nice.
149. Excuse me for a quick drink.
You're good.
The champ is back. Yanni is going to run roughshod over this tournament. If it wasn't for Lee getting his fourth natty, I think Yanni would win the Hodge Trophy in this. I honestly think he wins major decision or better in every single one of these. I think he scores bonus points throughout the whole tournament. He may even pin his way through. He's that fucking good. Sammy Sasso is legitimate and would be winning in any other fucking tournament except this one. And then for third place, I had to go out on a limb here. I think Max Murin is definitely going to be a All-American. I think he gets it done. I think he keeps coming back in the semis and pulls that one off. The dark horse in all of this is Austin Gomez, the only guy to beat Yanni this year. Very early in the year. He's had some issues lately of just not getting up for matches, and then in the Big Tens got disqualified for slamming a guy. So that's why he's the 15 seed. If you are, I'm doing a WrestleStat bracket pick'em thing, and if you are in one of those things, definitely take Austin Gomez at 149. He's going to make some noise, and he's also going to move all the way up. Probably, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the semis, but I'd have to look at the bracket some more. 157. We've got the former number one Peyton Robb from Nebraska winning. Austin O'Connor from the other side of the bracket. He's the number one seed. He's going to be the number two. And North Dakota State. Jared Franick, very good wrestler. I've seen him. He was the what are they? Missouri Valley champ. He's very good. We'll see what happens with that bracket. My dark horse in that one is Caden Giffeller from Oklahoma State. Dude is tough. I think he got third in the Big 12s, but don't be surprised if he makes a run at this also.
Hold on. I'm sorry. This is a bit of an unserious. Is it Goodfeller or you abbreviate it, or is it GF like Giffeller?
Giffeller.
Okay, that may be abbreviated. All right, Giffeller.
Mm. Nope, and thank you for the break, so I don't have to keep yelling at my microphone.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do my best, my friend.
I appreciate it. 165, like Trent and Bryant said, I also believe in David Carr. I believe he's the natty on this one. He's 2-0 against Keegan O'Toole this year. I can't wait for that third matchup. That's going to be amazing. But yeah, third, I've got Patrick Kennedy of Iowa. He's the 6th seed. He is a sophomore redshirt freshman. Very, very fucking fundamental, very good. It can be explosive when need to be. So I'm excited to see him. I think he makes a deep run, and I think he's Iowa's All-American that will wrap up. The betting line is over under 5.5 from them for All-Americans. I think he makes it so that they get over that hump. The dark horse of that is number 11, Cameron Amin. He was a semifinalist last year out of Michigan, and his brother was a finalist twice. So I think he's going to be also very good. I see someone highlighted Austin Gomez. I put Iowa State, didn't I?
Where? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is. He's actually from Wisconsin. My bad. But anyway, 174, Carter Sirachi, back-to-back champ. Penn State's going to have a bunch of those this year, so it's going to be pretty fucking crazy. Number 3, Makai Lewis, another former champ. He makes it around the finals, but I think Sirachi beats him. Peyton Mako from Mizzou, I think, wraps it up in the consolations. And Rocky Jordan from Chattanooga, he's a tough guy, tough out. I think he could make it to, the quarterfinals or something like that, and then maybe third or fourth, or probably fourth place. So watch out for him. 184, Aaron Brooks is a 3 seed. Yes, the defending 2-time national champion is a 3 seed. I believe that he's going to redeem himself from his earlier loss in the year. And Parker Kikeson is going to be the runner-up in that weight class, also followed by Trent Hidlay from NC State. I think Hidlay was ranked number 1 at one point after beating Brooks, but I think Brooks comes back with a vengeance. To me, Brooks is the most sound wrestler in the entire NCAA field this year, even over Spencer Lee. I think Lee's got some very, very high strengths, but if you're looking all around good wrestler, best wrestler, it's going to be Aaron Brooks for me. And then Travis.
Real quick, Joey. Why did he drop to 3? Did he lose to Parker or Trent earlier in the year, or just
he lost to Trent earlier in the year?
He did? Okay.
Yeah,
And
he
then
only had one
Parker's
loss.
just been fully dominant all year.
Yeah, he won the Big 12s. And Hidlay won the ACC. Parker's been very, very good all year. I just don't
Gotcha.
think he's got what it takes to beat Aaron Brooks. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
And then Travis Whitlake is my dark horse in that one. 197. You could go anyway in the top 10 guys in this, and I would be just fine with that because everyone is beating everyone this year. Everyone is beating up on each other. Max Dean was ranked number 1 for the majority of the season from Penn State, so I'm going to take him as my champion at number 9. And also, again, if you're in a pick 'em, that's an amazing value. I mean, I think I picked him up for like 30 points, so grab that shit. Rocky Elam from Mizzou, I think, comes out of the other side of the bracket and is the runner-up with this. I think the number 1 seed, Nino Bonacorsi from Pitt. I don't think very highly of the ACC when it comes to the upper weights this year. So give me him as my bronze medalist. And the dark horse, Jacob Warner. Dude made the fucking finals last year. Was ranked number 2 at one point, and now he's the 14 seed. He's all over the place. He could lose out the first 2 rounds. He could win the whole damn thing. That's how talented he is. But who the fuck knows? If anyone remembers another guy named Warner a few years ago from Iowa State and then wrestled at Iowa, Patrick, he I don't know what the fuck happened. So, yeah, it's one of those head cases. Maybe it comes with a last name. I don't know. And then finally, we got Mason Paris from Michigan, Greg Kirkvliet from Penn State, Tony Cassiope, my top 3 at heavyweight. I like Wyatt. Don't get me wrong, Clark. I just think that the Big Ten is better. They're better prepared coming into this tournament than anyone else in the nation as far as heavyweight goes. So we'll see what happens. My dark horse is AJ Nevels, and I think he's coming from a Penn State background. He could make a deep run in this as well. He's had a pretty up and down season with injuries, so I could see him cracking the top 5 for sure. And that is NCAA March Madness. The other prediction I do have is I do not think Iowa, even if they get 6 All-Americans, does not crack the top 3 as a team. I think it's going to go Penn State, Mizzou, and I think someone from out of the Big Ten is going to surprise someone, and it's probably going to be NC State. They look really good right now. So, and if David Carr, if he somehow scores bonus points every single round, shit, they could even jump in the top 3 too. So we'll see what happens. But I think Iowa's got 2 really, really good champions and then a couple that could make splashes. But other than Lee and Woods, there's no one that's really like solidified they're going to win this thing. So
if Iowa doesn't get top 3, do Iowa hardcore fans start freaking out and wondering what the hell the brands are doing?
I don't think so. Based on how good they've been the last few years and then the recruiting classes they've had. I know Abe Asada's kind of been a bust, even though he's hit or miss. Patrick Kennedy's coming into his own. If he gets on the podium, especially if he gets top 3, that's a huge get. And then they lost a lot from last year, so we'll see what happens. I don't think that I just don't think that we give up hope on them. So there's that.
You have to believe.
Right. And to answer Ryan's question, NC State is very good. They won the ACC. Also very good in the national tournaments that they went to. I know they were in the Southern Scuffle. I believe they got 3rd behind Penn State and someone else. And they've got a very good heavyweight. The Hidlays are always good. So, yeah, watch out for NC State. And Arizona State, they're always good. The Valencias, there's still one there. I think he's like a 24 seed this year, but they were fucking awesome. I hate anything coming out of out west because they always just fucking claim how good they are, and then they get in the tournament and shit the bed. So I will pass on any time anyone asks me how good Arizona State is. So there's that.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you going through all that, Joy, because you did a hell of a good job. I wish I would have zoomed in at the top there just so everyone could see it. But yeah, a lot of good work in that one, and it'll be interesting to be able to like follow up on this next week, and you could even just do the highlighting. These guys are still excuse me. These ones are still in the running. These ones are absolutely out. Your hits and misses and stuff. But
oh no, it'll be wrapped up this weekend.
Oh, it will be. Well, next amateur hour we'll go. We'll see how good you actually are, Joey, and we will
the final
judge you harshly.
That's fine. Yeah, the finals are Saturday night. I'll be watching that and UFC 286 with Kamaru Usman fighting Leon Edwards for the third time. It's the end of the trilogy.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with that one. If anyone watched the last one, Edwards won it in the last minute with a complete fucking freak KO. So that's going to be fire as well. I know I'm not doing as much combat sports stuff as I used to do. So I will be tweeting all weekend, as I mentioned on the Funcast. I'm out for work this week, so I'm sitting in a hotel by myself with multiple screens. So I'll be watching all of the sports as much as possible.
Now, Joey, how many will have appropriate content on there?
All of them except my personal phone. So there's that.
Okay, there we go. That is the absolute correct answer.
I will be Bert
Make sure you're not on
Kreischer
company
and
hotspot or
shirtless.
something.
That's right.
Yeah, that
So-
is always. That's always the key, Joey, is make sure you're off the company hotspot before you really start navigating through that thing.
So
right.
Ryan here asked if y'all are from Brandon and just me. So just me, but I have learned them about the Brandon wrestling program.
We have all kind of learned about them. I'm pretty pumped for that. Do you know at all, Ryan? And you can do this after we're done here. If they go to many tournaments in Iowa or Minnesota and stuff, I want to know how good they are nationally. Is what I'm getting at.
Well, I think they changed the rule because remember BCIG tournament, they used to have a couple schools from like Florida and stuff cover, and now I think there's new rules where high schools can't go like interstate tournaments or something.
No, they have to be interlocking states. They want to cut down on the amount of travel. So yeah, if they're interlocking, they're good.
I gotcha.
I know they have a couple kids being looked at by Iowa. That one of them is the heavyweight.
Hell yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, anything else? College basketball, wrestling. We've been going. This is probably the longest pod we've done in a while. We usually try and keep it short, but I mean, when we got all this content and all these good games, it's hard to cut down.
Gonna have to call amateur hour and a half now.
I will actually change the title specifically so it says that.
Amateur hours, plural.
Amateur hours. So, well, I'd say if you guys got nothing else, we'll wrap it up here. Again, we do appreciate everyone joining. It is way more fun to do this when we got guys asking questions, trying to stump us with the, betting and everything else. I mean, again, this is why it's amateur hour. We're amateur bettors. We just love talking about Cyclones and Jayhawks and Hawkeyes. So, we do appreciate everyone joining in. If they are here for the first time, Joey, you want to go over the socials quick?
Yeah, I've had 3 vodkas now, so forgive me if I stumble a little bit. But Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at Heartland Pulse. Search us on Facebook, Pulse of the Heartland. Same thing with YouTube. We are live for sure on Mondays and Thursdays/Wednesdays when there's games on.
Yep.
So we'll let you know on the socials. But yeah, just follow us on all that stuff. And like Brian said, keep commenting. This is a lot more fun when we're answering questions and, kind of doing call-ins like old-ass radio shows and stuff. But this is fun.
Like that old
Long-time
media.
listener, first-time caller.
There we
Right.
go. Hell yeah. So, but all right. Well, we do appreciate you guys joining. We'll catch you next week.